Video games for sporting events normally have a short lifespan. They may be limited in certain aspects, but they're there to hook people in while the event is ongoing. Video games based on the Olympics are no different, and today we're looking at another one of their winter titles. This is Salt Lake 2002, released in January of the same year in line with the event for PC, PlayStation 2 and Game Boy Advance. There was also an Xbox version that was planned, but it never actually made it to shelves. It was developed by Attention to Detail and published by Eidos Interactive, but the Game Boy Advance version was developed by DC Studios and published by Ubisoft. Incidentally, this was Attention to Detail's second Olympic game, with the first being Sydney 2000. The footage you're seeing on screen is from the PlayStation 2. You'll find 4 game modes. Olympic mode is exactly what you think it would be. You'll be competing in Olympic-style events and trying to win the gold medal. This is a direct-to-competition mode, so you don't need to go through any form of qualifying. You can pick to play one, all, or some of the events that the game offers, with the events played in the daytime. Tournament mode is a nighttime knockout tournament in a single event of your choosing. Freeform mode is the game's local multiplayer, but it can also be used to practice events. Classic mode is greyed out unless you create a profile, and then it becomes available. This is more of a challenge mode. Complete the event by hitting the target time or the points total over increasing difficulties and in a variety of weather conditions. Overall, Salt Lake 2002 is quite limited, with only 4 events on the PlayStation 2, those being in skiing, ski jump, bobsleigh and snowboard. There's also a lack of speed skating altogether, and the curling event is exclusive to the Game Boy Advance. Controls are displayed on screen as each event loads up, and they do vary per event. As with other Olympic video games, controls can feel better on certain events over others. I had most joy with the button mashing of the skiing aerials, while the steering on the slalom or controlling of the bobsleigh provided a bit more of a challenge. This was the official video game for the 2002 Olympic Winter Games, and the environments and on-screen graphics do bring that authenticity. Commentary, while it is realistic and it does react to what's happened, such as if you make a mistake or you're doing well in the event, it's also quite generic with no reference to an athlete's name. Let's hear some examples.
For this race, the Canadian will be racing in the blue lane. And they're out of the start gate with next to nothing between them. And that mistake means the end of the run for the blue lane rider. Good afternoon, folks, as you join us at the start of the first run of the women's alpine slalom. The Canadian is next to go. She's out of the trap, not a bad start, but it could have been a bit smoother.
Athlete models also do lack in a little bit of quality and are blocky. There's also no customization. Medal ceremonies are quite basic. Athletes are already stood on the podium with their medals, but you do get to hear the anthem of the winning nation. Other cutscenes include a basic version of the opening and closing ceremony when playing in Olympic mode. Critically, Salt Lake 2002 received generally unfavourable reviews for its PC and PlayStation 2 release from video game aggregator Metacritic, with the Game Boy Advance version rating more higher on its aggregate scores. Here's what I think. It's okay if you just want to try Winter Olympic video games, but it certainly isn't one of the better ones. It does lack in many of the staple events of the games, and it tries to make up for this with other modes that don't really add much replayability. So that was a look at Salt Lake 2002. Is this a game that you played? Do you have memories of it? Or overall, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do like looking back at older video games that you may or may not remember from the past, stay tuned to the channel for more.